Hello and welcome. This video is brought to you by thestreamingadvisor.com. Tailor your entertainment with streaming. And what we're going to look at here is a new channel, or more of a channel update, from these guys right here. They're called Xumo. And I'll show you how to add the channel just to get started. Go to Streaming Channels, press OK. Go to Search Channels and press OK. And then spell it on out. Xumo spells Xumo. And we're going to launch it. If you don't have it already, you download it here, but we've got it. We're going to launch it. And what you're going to see when you get in is a grid. This is set up to look like any grid on a digital cable channel or something like that. It breaks things down into categories, which should feel very familiar to people used to watching TV, which is pretty much everybody. And you notice up in the left-hand corner, it's going to show you what category you're in, as though you might not be able to tell from the selections themselves. But this is the kids and family section. And then we move on to another. There's a number of selections in each category. And as you move along, over in the left-hand corner, it's going to tell you what you're looking at. It also breaks it down into on now and up next. What this doesn't do is show you a grid going really far into the future. In fact, you can't go any further than what's up next. So you can't bounce around and say, hey, what's playing tomorrow or later on today. It's just what you've got. Now, if you don't like going through a grid, kind of like your standard TV, you can zoom in to other things. You can go into select genre, which is down there if you notice in the lower right-hand corner. You press the fast forward, and from here you can choose different genres. So if you just want to jump into science and tech, this is all with the science and tech channels. Now, what exactly is on this? If you haven't gathered it already, Xumo takes a lot of things from multiple sources. Some of the things on here are straight out channels, like I can maybe show you news is a good example. CBS News is a internet-based service. It's just a 24-hour feed. NBC's news thing is more of a collection of clips throughout the day, just like this is MSNBC highlights. It couldn't have said it any better. But what they do is they package everything together into these little neighborhoods, and whether it's a full-on 24-hour-a-day broadcast or a big collection of information, they put it all together so that you can watch it in a lean-back atmosphere that's more like just watching a TV show. For instance, this is an MMA show. It looks like it's some sort of a podcast. You know, those of you who know these shows, you might be like, oh, don't you know, blah, blah, blah. But no, I'm afraid I don't. Sorry. But what they do here to make it easy for viewers is if something is a bunch of different clips, like let's say it's something like Fail Army. That's a popular one. Under comedy, let's go. Boop. You go into Fail Army or Funny or Die. You know, you if you're familiar with these things, yeah, that's multiple different sketches and original content. It's going to put it all together in one fell swoop where you can just sit down, click on Funny or Die, and just enjoy it. Now, anytime you launch into a channel, you'll notice it starts off with a commercial. And just to be careful with that, because I don't know what YouTube is going to say, I'm going to pull out of that. Don't want to get hit with anything. But what you do is you have a chance to just watch whatever it is that you want to see and enjoy yourself. Shocking pranks, same thing. This is going to be a bunch of different pranks, one after the other, after the other, after the other. Leave that. Oh, no, not Sling TV. Now look at me. So many choices. I'm so sorry that you have to watch this load for a minute, but I'm afraid I pressed the wrong button. Oh, wow, come on, man. Looks like I need to put the micro SD card in my Roku and speed things up a bit, huh? Okay, so let's jump back into Xumo. So, you see what it does is it allows you to keep watching. So, you keep it on just for laughs, and it's going to be one gag after another, after another, after another, one prank after another. And you can just watch it, just like you're watching a TV show, instead of it being like when you're watching something on YouTube and you gotta go on to the next and go on to the next and things like that. Something else these guys do is they give you a chance to add favorites. And we've been playing with this. Let's see, we'll add 467. See some of the things are already highlighted because we've added favorites playing with this. But you can add favorites and then find them as soon as you launch in. And where you find your favorites is under the genre selection. At the top of the page is a favorites section. So as you get used to certain channels and the sorts of things that they offer and want to get into that right away, that's all you have to do. You jump into favorites and there's anything that you've added. You can always unfavorite something. See, it says OK, unfavorite down at the bottom. So we unfavorite this and unfavorite that and unfavorite this. You can clear the whole thing, really. And then, and then next time you go into favorites, it's going to be a little less. So, I think that's a great feature. Really great feature. Something else that they do here is they have movies. The movie selection is not exactly going to replace Netflix, but a lot of the stuff is a little hard to find. There's some things that are on here that you might say, gosh, I saw that years ago and I've never been able to see it since. And then here it is. It's got some funky old horror movies, some interesting science fiction, documentaries. It's got about 15 categories, and I expect to see it grow. Most of these things do. You'll notice there aren't tons and tons of selections. There's like about 20 to 25 in most. So, like I said, this is just meant to entertain you a bit, give you something different to see, but it's not supposed to be the biggest movie selection on the internet or anything like that. But that is Xumo. I think that it's a really cool setup. It's a big time update from where it was. I don't know if you ever saw the original Xumo channel, but this looks more like what Xumo does on smart TVs, where it's always shined. So check it out. Add it. Have fun. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please subscribe to our channel and help us keep on growing. And as always, I'm Ryan Downey, the streaming advisor. Stream on, my friends.